Yeah, certainly. I want to acknowledge and tip my cap to American University, Coach Simp's team. I mean, not just because they beat us 3 times this year. I think they're a really tough, hard-nosed, disciplined, determined, and talented group. In today's day and age, a guy like Matt Rogers probably was faced with a decision to go play this last season in the ACC or the Big East or somewhere else, and he's right back here and earned what they've got a chance to play at home for a championship. I've coached a lot of guys who have had that opportunity, and something you really don't get in life. So I want to credit them for how they go about playing the game and competing in the game, and just the journey that those veteran guys have been on. You know, they had a change in coaching staff. I thought that the previous coaches did a great job to bring them along as young players. They developed, Matt didn't shoot threes early in his career, but now he's like lethal. You got to change your whole defense because, he's such a weapon. And Elijah just has grown into a really floor general and leader. And, Lincoln, like they're winners and they're competitors. And so tip my cap. Obviously, hard fought game. We didn't shoot well enough or play well enough to win in this environment. I thought we certainly gave it everything we had. I didn't think we responded. In American, they don't deviate. They don't change very much of what they do. They just ramp it up. And we had talked about that in preparation, and they did it to start the second half. I don't think we reacted or were really ready to take advantage of that. And, eventually at some point it got away from us. They made the shots and made plays. Colin Smalls, again, a veteran guy, stepped up, made two big ones in the second half. And sometimes that's how these games go. But immeasurably proud of our group, of these two sitting beside me, of Chandler Baker for all they've been through, for their commitment to the program, for the teammates they've been, for the leadership. Again, this was a unique year for us, but sad to see the three of them go, and incredibly and immeasurably thankful and grateful for all that they've done for our program.
Coach, what do they do defensively that kind of takes you out of your rhythm? I know they double a lot of screen actions, they hedge hard, but it just seemed like when you try to go into screen action, they were successful in kind of getting you guys off the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the physicality and intensity of the defense. There's constant ball pressure. They're trying to take away the next pass. So, you're never in a flow of getting one side of the floor or the other side of the floor. They really force you to try and make them pay for that hard hedge on the ball screen, and they're in rotation and they're scrambling like you have a slight advantage. And at times, like when we got a lead, I think, it was a big play of the game. We might have been up 8. And there was a loose ball on the ground, and 2 of our guys clearly had a chance to get it. If we get that and we get a chance in transition, all of a sudden we're up double figures, and their aggressiveness is working against them. But they get it. Lincoln Ball sticks it in. It's a 6-point game, and they just try and wear on you with the aggressiveness and on-ball defense that I just think constantly forces you to make a play and make a read and make a decision. And it's unique for sure.
And I know you spoke about how they have all these veterans, but talk a little bit about the jump that Greg Jones has made from his freshman year to his sophomore year. Seems to be a better shooter, does a lot more things offensively.
Yeah, I mean, I think the shooting that Greg does now, and I'm sure some of it is just confidence, right? Some of it is just growing into your role, being a second-year player. But some of it, you can't become a better shooter without hard work. And I think that speaks to just who he is as a player. Like, he's a relentless worker. Like, on the defensive end, there's a reason the coaches vote him all defensive team. Like, and then when you add shooting, like and he's a really, really good standstill shooter. Now all of a sudden it's a weapon. You can't help off of him. He can attack the basket, his length, his athleticism. So, the fact that he's increased his shooting as exponentially as he has is certainly a credit to him and a weapon that they use well.
You talked about Matt's decision to come back and stay for a year. You have your own figure, senior year. Talk about what something like that means to your program.
Yeah, I know he came back to win another championship and try and set a record that will never be recipe could be, 5 of them. I don't know if you could ever get 5 of them just because you're not allowed to play, at least in the current rules, that many. But without him, and we had to play a whole month when he played. He played an NC State game on a broken leg, fractured tibia, and I think that speaks to just who he is. He's a warrior. He'll do whatever he can to help his team. Over the first 4 years of his career, that meant, for the most part, coming off the bench and having twin towers. And this year it was something totally different. He had to try and be a coach on the floor, which from the center position is really hard, especially when you don't have a point guard with any experience being the leader in that position. We would have been lost as coaches without him. And so, I think, the type of season he had was first team all league caliber. We maybe didn't have that type of season, and some other guys did, but I hope that as he moves on to graduate school, he looks back on this year as unique and exceptional, even though he didn't get the championship, which was all that mattered to him moving forward. So, he made a mark on this program that is uncommon and will last a long, long time.
Yeah, Jeff, I gotta ask you, you're giving Odier a lot of your matchups out right on the offensive side, and you're really good player in your program. Can you just kind of reflect on the mark that you think you left on the program, both as like a player, but also as a teammate and as a leader of this team?
Yeah. I mean, a legacy's hard to talk about, especially right now. But I mean, I think that over my 5 years, the thing that I've just tried to do is do everything that I can to help our team in whatever role I'm in. And does that mean I'm coming off the bench and backing up Keegan, or I'm starting alongside Keegan, or this year I'm starting by myself? And whether that's the team needs me to score 25 tonight, or the team needs me just to play good defense and rebound. Stats don't really. I don't really care about them. I don't really care. It was nice to hit 1,000 points, but Coach Langel always says if you play a guy enough, he's probably going to reach 1,000 points. So I don't care about that. I care about winning, and I care about helping my teammates win. And so I mean, just that's kind of the legacy that I hope that I left, even just in a small part.
And also thinking about your future after this season, possibly going overseas.
Yeah, I'm going to go to grad school. I'm not playing overseas. Yeah, hopefully grad school. They got to let me in first. But.